Hello and welcome. This is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
We're all Richard Allen! Huh?
What's going on, freaks? How's it going? Yeah, it should be scary. It's a nut job, yeah? It's we're all Richard Allen! You got to the jury, didn't you?
You pieces of shit got to the jury, didn't you?
Crazy. Well, welcome, Kathy B. Well, we had our donation night yesterday. I guess you could call it that. The channel gave away $1,000 out of the income. Usually we do a lot more than that in a month, but it's kind of a struggling month all around. So, and by the way, it was our lowest donation night in 5 years since we started doing it. I don't know if that means like the economy is still shitty or just people aren't interested, but kind of sucked. Let's see. Yeah, someone named Mike wanted me to do this one a while ago. I think I had a folder. That's why I tried to figure out what the names were. I had a folder. Yeah, well, today's the anniversary of it. That's why we're doing it. I forgot about it, but he reminded me. It was February 2nd, 2008. So thought we could go over that, and then maybe after that we can, in the Pennsylvania plane wreck. It seems like people like those videos I make where I try to find out where all the different camera shots were. So I thought I'm going to make a video where I know most of them, but there are a couple of them I couldn't really figure out. So maybe that'll allow some of the people watching to figure out where those are taken from. But I found a lot of, even some of the weird ones I was able to find. But some of them, like I think the streets changed enough where it's hard to tell. So you guys, this is day number 2. If you guys want to help support the channel on the, doing the buy me a coffees or super chats, you can leave a comment on the screen and we can read it. That would be cool. All right. Just got to try to keep moving this month. I showed you guys the other day about the ad revenue on these live streams. That's why we need the support from you guys. All right. I was hoping that would make a difference in how you could see this. All right. Now let me get rid of that off the screen. That was from yesterday, the disaster. Hello, Paulette Leonard, CJK, Karen, Wendy Van Rokel, Paulette Leonard. Oh yeah. How was that? Was that pretty cool? Well, thanks, Ted Bundy. Was it cool seeing her? Thank you, Tina G. I saw a coffee come in from a serial killer. I mean, I guess that's what it takes, huh, you guys? Yeah, I don't know if the Lane Bryant, the store that it was at, still there. I don't know. I couldn't find a Lane Bryant in Tinley Park. It might have been there was one here. I guess we'll try to figure that out later. But. What's the scoop on what? Anyways, that'd be cool if people could try to figure out the spots and then put in the comments something about where they thought. I might even be like, even if I know where the spot is, I could say, all right, find where this one is. Might make people more interested in trying to figure stuff out. Because I think it's kind of cool when you actually know where everything is and how it's associated, especially when you're mapping out something complex like that plane wreck in Pennsylvania. It was kind of interesting seeing all the different videos that people were taking. It's whenever I want it to be Suze Q Reynolds. It's from 2008. It's not really that old. It's just, you're already starting off on a bad foot, I can tell by your, hey, what's the scoop? The case, I guess it's old. Okay, yeah. Hey, it's raining outside, everybody. Oh my God, the sky's blue. Hey, there's clouds. Hey, look, there's a brick on the ground. Yeah, I'll figure it out, News Crasher. Don't try to crash the news like you always do. We'll figure it out during the show. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. That one's... Oh, yeah, I dated it wrong. Hold on. He was here yesterday and the day, or 2 days ago, and a couple days before that. Man, I'm not sure what's going on, but all my dates are messed up. Hold on. It's 2009. All right, here's the first articles that came out right here. It's pretty crazy. So, let's see, gunman on the loose after he kills 5 at clothing store. O'Connell said the Lane Bryant store did not have its own video camera, but authorities are checking cameras within a few miles of the shopping center just south of Interstate 80 in hopes of catching a glimpse of the shooter. The sprawling center, built in 2005, includes some storefronts that have not opened yet, making the Lane Bryant store more isolated. We're checking every possible means of getting out of the area, Grady said. The first call of shots fired came into police at 10:44 a.m. I mean, so it's crazy. It's just right in the middle of the day at a mall. You know, I guess there wasn't a lot of stores there, though. There's no question it was a horrific scene, a police source said. Among the victims was 33-year-old Carrie Hudick Chiso of Frankfurt, who worked at Homewood Flossmoor High School since 2003. Now, let me turn off these those emotions. I mean, who the hell's hitting hearts and things? I don't think anybody's actually hitting those. Okay, good. There we go. There's no question it was a horrific scene. Among the victims was 33-year-old Carrie Hudak. The Reverend Michael Meany, pastor of St. Damien Catholic Church in Oak Forest, confirmed that another victim was a parishioner at the church. He said he had been in contact with her family but declined to release her name or other information out of respect for the family. O'Connell said the victims ranged in age from 22 to 37 years of age. 2 others were from suburbs, and the 5th was from South Bend, Indiana, he said. At least one was an employee, Selena Kujoa, and her son, Nicholas, 5, of Mokina, were shopping at the nearby Super Target when the shooting occurred. We were just checking out, and they told us to get back into the store, Kujoa said. They locked the store down for well over an hour. I was freaking out, Kujoa said. Customers were told a shooting took place in the shopping center. We heard 5 people were down, she said. Customers were crying. I was just thinking about keeping my son calm. Nicholas will turn 6 in a few weeks, so she took him to look at toys and potential birthday gift before customers were called back to the front of the store. They were all asked to cooperate with police. The police had huge guns, Nicholas said. It was scary. Officers searched the store, stopping to question one man. They pulled a guy aside in the CD department, talking to him, and it looked like they were going to cuff him. Hey, welcome, Uniquely Susie, retired hospice RN. Let's see. I was very nervous coming back here, she said. I saw cars driving by and thought the guy could be any of them. We just don't have things like this going on here. Sarah Miraboli, 13, was a dance class and studio at nearby Lane Bryant when the shooting happened. We just found out there was a shooting when we were in class, she said. One of the moms came in and told us there was a shooting. Then we saw helicopters by the studio. One student's mother came into the studio and locked the doors. So obviously everybody's panicking. Let's see. The shooting at Brookside Marketplace shocked Tinley Park, normally tranquil suburb that had witnessed just 2 homicides since 1999. Charlotte Vatkus, who lives near the stores, was shopping when the shooting happened. She said the murders were just the latest troubled incident at Brookside Marketplace. So I think like the first day there isn't really much, they're just trying to figure out what the hell's happening, and I don't even know if they have everybody's names quite yet, but here's another one from the second day, the 3rd. A gunman fatally shot 5 women in a robbery at a store in a suburb Chicago strip mall and fled Saturday, prompting police to sweep through neighboring shops as terrified customers watched. The victims were killed at a Lane Bryant clothing store at the Brookside Marketplace. Okay, so there you go. Those names don't change. Brookside Marketplace. I was thinking it's close to where I am right here. Okay. So that's Tinley Park. And it's in this shopping mall right here. And I think there might be a Lane Bryant in this one, I think. Let's see. No, that's Tinley Park. I don't think so. See? It's not there anymore. I think, after that they probably shut it down at some point. But we'll be able to figure out where inside of here it was at one point. Got the Dick's Sporting Goods. You got all these different. It's probably like right around in here. I mean, you can probably tell just by looking at that. See those bricks on the building there? Those kind of things, they don't really change too much. So, I mean, it could be right over there. Let's see. All right. So we'll find out later. All right, anyways. The victims were killed at a Lane Bryant clothing store at the Brookside Marketplace. Police Sergeant T.J. Grady said officers found the victims at the back of the store after getting a 911 call around 10:45 a.m. Grady said robbery was believed to be the motive. Police searched for the gunman using dogs and a helicopter equipped with infrared sensors, but concluded he left the stores off Interstate 80 southwest of downtown Chicago in a Target store across the parking lot from Lane Bryant. So I bet you Target would probably still be there, right? Let's see. Yeah, so there's the Target. And they're saying across the parking lot. So it must be right over here. Yeah, and that looks like maybe that could be, yep, see those little white topped brick things there? So maybe all along here it's like that. Let's see if there's any more information. With the window, I think it's like, it almost looks like right there, doesn't it? But there's probably a similar look, but those windows are right exactly the same. So I bet you that was Lane Bryant right there. And it's also directly across from Target. So I'm going to say that, I'm just going to put a pin there. Hey guys, currently we're at $4 for the show. Is there any chance we could help get the support up for the channel on this channel? We've been doing this for 5-6 years now. It'd be great to keep the same support even when we're covering cases that people aren't talking about. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. Let me take a look at right here really quick, though. I don't think that's going to be it. But no. So it has to be that right at the end. So Lane Bryant was right there at one point. All right, let's see. In a Target store across the parking lot from Lane Bryant, terrified customers were herded to the front as police with pistols and rifles drawn went up and down the aisles and into storerooms searching for the gunman. I was so scared and I couldn't think, said Selena Kujawa, who had just entered the store with her 5-year-old son when it was locked down. They told us to get in our cars and get out of here. Meanwhile, the Chicago Police Department warned its officers to pay attention to strip malls and other Lane Bryant stores, police spokesman Monique Bond said. I wonder why you would think Lane Bryant would be a target. Grady said police are downloading video from cameras mounted at nearby stores. The Lane Bryant was open at the time of the shootings. Grady declined to say whether the victims were customers or employees. Well, it turns out some are customers. Police were allowing some shoppers into parts of the strip mall later Saturday, but had cordoned off the store. Tracy Cacavella was shopping at the PetMart store late Saturday morning across the parking lot from the Lane Bryant when she saw police enter the pet supply store. 6 police entered the store with their hands on their gun holsters. The small red and brown brick Lane Bryant is part of a cluster of 4 or 5 stores isolated on one side of the large blacktop parking lot, with big box stores, including Target and a Best Buy several hundred yards away. 2 large county vans backed up to the front of the building Saturday afternoon, and a white canopy was placed over the building, over the front of the building. Messages left at Lane Bryant headquarters were not immediately returned. All right. Communities, families cope in the aftermath. Let me do this part. As identities of the 5 slain women were released to the public Sunday, friends and family grieved. Flags in Tinley Park were lowered to half-staff. The front entry to the Lane Bryant store was covered with plywood as officers kept watch over the scene. A police dog scoured the parking lot. At least one of the women, Woolfolk, apparently tried to fight her attacker. Relatives who claimed her body from the morgue said she had blood under her nails and several scratches marked her body. Well, hopefully they collected that. There should be a DNA profile if that's accurate. She was beat up pretty bad. He must have a pistol whipped and beat them up pretty bad, her brother Aaron Woolfolk said. She was fighting to stay with her kids, added a brother Jimmy 30. So she has kids and she wanted to live. That sucks. Investigators are looking into the lives of victims for possible relationships they may have had with the murderer, according to Country Club Hills Mayor Dwight Welsh. They're following relationships, he said. Officers also interviewed employees at stores near Lane Bryant Sunday. The store, which opened in August 2006, remained closed Sunday, as were all the chain stores, said a spokeswoman for the Charming Shops, Inc. Lane Bryant has offered $50,000 reward for information in the case. To this point, Tinley Park police have been calling this a robbery gone bad. Yeah. Just trying to figure out, should I do these cases? It's amazing. I think they're always interesting, but apparently it's not as interesting to the viewers. We only got 187 people watching, nobody's supporting the channel, and it's absolutely turning into a disaster again. On Sunday, police offered only a vague description of a stocky black man, about 5'9", weighing 230 to 260 pounds, dressed in dark clothing. Why the shooter chose Lane Bryant's store for the robbery is unknown. So there's actually 6 people that were shot, and one of them lived, and police are protecting that person. It's not a place where you would find a lot of cash, a police source said, adding that a man did make off with about $200. The bodies of the women were found in a back room of the store in the shopping center at 191st Street and Harlem Avenue. Will County Sheriff spokesman Pat Berry said the investigation is progressing very nicely. Okay. They always say that. Oh, yeah, it's very nicely. And yet there has never been an arrest. While Rexford said she never worked with the injured woman, she met her while visiting the store in recent months to see McFarland and other former co-workers. Rexford said she and another woman planned to visit the victim in the hospital soon. Rexford said she worked at the store. The employees always made sure each other was safe. We walked out together. We waited until everybody got in their cars, she said. Let's see. It said, Saturday's incident is understandably frightening. It scares all of us, Rexford said. She said the incident also has brought together a group of former employees who worked with McFarland. Please put something in the paper for us. We miss you and we love you, Rhonda. You'll never be forgotten. On Sunday, 5 white crosses stapled with red roses were propped up in a mound of snow near Lane Bryant. A small statue of an angel with golden wings was perched nearby in front of a bouquet of pink roses. Let's see. Jennifer Bishop, the mother of 3 young children, worked part-time as an intensive care nurse in South Bend Memorial Hospital. Bishop was a popular outgoing employee who had worked there for 13 years. She was a wonderful person. Yeah, so somebody was just visiting from South Bend, Indiana. Now we're just moving along through the days. This is February 5th now. So there's a witness. Witnesses helped investigators compile a description of the suspect sought in the shooting deaths of 5 women at a suburban clothing store, according to officials who refused Monday to confirm news reports that a 6th victim had survived. Tinley Park police have said a manager of the Lane Bryant store and 4 customers were herded into the back room and shot to death in a robbery attempt shortly after opening on Saturday. The suspect was described as a black man with thick braided hair and receding hairline, Sergeant T.J. Grady said Monday at a news conference. One braid was adorned with 4 light green beads and was hanging over the right side of his face and cheek. Man, they should have put that out the second they heard that. But Grady declined to say how investigators got such a detailed description, or whether it may have been from a 6th woman who was shot but survived the attack at the strip mall. That's probably where they got it. The Chicago Sun-Times and Chicago Tribune, citing unnamed sources, reported that the unnamed survivor was treated at a hospital. That says, I cannot, okay, the minute I'm able to confirm anything, there's so much misinformation going on right now. The minute we're able to confirm anything, we will do that for you. The dead have been identified as Connie R. Woolfolk, 37, of Flossmoor, Sarah T. Safransky, 22, of Oak Forest, Carrie H. Chiso, 33, of Frankfurt, Rhonda McFarland, 42, of Joliet, and Jennifer L. Bishop, 34, of South Bend, Indiana. $55,000 reward, most of which is being paid by the Lane Bryant parent company, Charming Shopping Incorporated, was being offered for information. They did put out a sketch. This one a lot clearer, but February 6, 2008. So there it says, 6 women survive shooting. The killer of 5 women at Lane Bryant store in Tinley Park made sexual advances on at least one of the victims before the slayings and might have targeted a woman's shop to avoid confrontation with men, a source said. So maybe this had nothing, the robbery was just sort of a side thing. This guy's a sexual predator. The gunman entered the store after 10 a.m. Saturday and chatted briefly with some of the victims. You know, it kind of reminds you of the who was that one guy in the Delphi case that people thought? Thomas Bruce. I mean, it's a little kind of similar to that guy, right? Yeah. Thanks, Zozo. Yeah, good for them. JJ. Can you see we're talking about something else currently? Probably just send me an email on that. The gunman entered the store after 10 a.m. Saturday and chatted briefly with some of the victims before announcing a holdup and might have initially feigned that he was making a delivery, sources said. Yeah, thanks, Michelle H. He then took the women to a back room and bound them with duct tape he had brought with him, a law enforcement source said. So this guy was already going to be doing this. He said that before the shooting began, the man made advances toward one or more of the women. 4 shoppers and the store manager died at the scene. A 6th woman, an employee, was shot in the neck but survived to tell police what happened. Oh boy. That's crazy, right? I mean, it's just... On Tuesday, Tinley Park police finally acknowledged after 2 days that there was a 6th victim of the shooting who survived. When asked by a reporter at a news conference about the condition of that victim, Commander Rick Bruno said she is being interviewed by investigators. Bruno reiterated that police are following leads to track down the gunman and said investigators have received more than 90 tips on a special hotline. He also said police are asking area beauty salons and barbershops that bead hair to review their client list for someone matching the gunman's description. Huh. And then I wonder if there's any ended up dead beauty salon people after they put that in the paper. At a news conference Monday outside Tinley Park, police headquarters, Sergeant T.J. Grady described the killer as a black man with a medium complexion, dressed in black jeans with embroidery and rhinestone decorations on the back pocket, a dark-colored jacket, and a charcoal gray knit cap. He said the man was clean-shaven and had thick braids pulled back under his cap, except for one that hung down the right side of his face. And let's see, so he said the man was clean-shaven, had dark, thick braids pulled back under his cap, except for the one that hung down the right side of his face, and sported 4 green beads. The man appeared to be 25 to 35 years old, between 5'8", 5'10", and 230 to 260 pounds. Based on the height and weight, he probably a little pudgy, Grady said. While the Lane Bryant store wasn't equipped, it seems like the description would be that he's a little bit pudgy. I don't know how a person can tell, oh, hey, they weigh 260 pounds. It'd be more like he's 5'9", but he was kind of big. Okay, he probably weighs like 260. While the Lane Bryant store wasn't equipped with security cameras, Grady said police had gathered an abundance of security video from other locations and were sifting through images for clues about the attacker and a red vehicle seen in the area at the time of the shooting. The FBI was assisting with a specific part of the investigation, said spokesman Ross Rice. He wouldn't describe what help the agency was providing. Also, Jeff Shank, commander of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, said his team was contacted by investigators Saturday and was standing by to pick up the suspect or person of interest. Or, I don't know, just waiting around for the possibility of a suspect. Area police agencies were asked to check their reports for similar cases where a robber claimed to be a delivery person, where victims were bound with duct tape and put face down on the floor, or cases where sexual advances were made towards the victim, according to a source. The survivor, a 33-year-old South suburban Chicago woman was in protective custody according to her relatives. They declined to comment on Saturday's attack and said all communications with the woman, even calls to her cell phone, had been cut off by police. The woman's sister, who lived in Tinley Park, was also in protective custody. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So this is, I guess that's the sketch right there. But that guy doesn't look 260 in that picture. This is March 15th, so quite a bit later. Investigators hoping to solve shooting deaths of 5 women inside a Tinley Park Lane Bryant store say enhanced surveillance video may yield new clues. The grainy video came from a camera at a Target store 100 yards away from the Brookside Marketplace store and shows a dark-colored sport utility vehicle and a dark sedan near the Lane Bryant store around the time of the February 2nd shooting. The video was enhanced, there it is right there, by a NASA scientist at the expense of Fox TV's America's Most Wanted. So I guess those are the vehicles right there. The video was enhanced. Okay, and it says, police say they don't know whether the occupants of the vehicles were witnesses or involved in the crime, but they hope by seeing the video and stills, the public will remember something that will lead to a break in the case. Tinley Park Police Sergeant Sam Shervino said, the release of the photos is the latest way police are trying to gain more information that might lead to the gunman. Authorities have posted electronic billboards and established a toll-free number that allows callers to hear portions of the 911 call from a deadly store shooting, which they have said was a botched robbery. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, it sounds like he had a sexual motive originally. It's more like a, sexual attempt or whatever you want to call it went wrong, and then he stole money as he's going out. Divers have searched frozen ponds and waterways, and police have secured interstates and highways for any potential evidence. Killed in the shootings at the Lane Bryant store were store manager Rhoda McFarland. We just went through those. Earlier this month, Tinley Park added $250,000 to its police budget. Tinley Park Police Chief Mike O'Connell said the village has already spent more than $110,000. The police have released a description of the man wanted for questioning in connection with the February 2nd shooting at a Lane Bryant clothing store in Tinley Park. The suspect is a stocky black man, about 5'9" inches tall, between 25 and 35 years old, who wore a black winter coat, knit cap, and black jeans adorned with rhinestones on the back pocket. The man had thick braided hair, but how come you can't see any of that in the picture that you're... it's just stupid. What a stupid sketch, The man had thick braided hair and receding hairline, with one braid laying over the right side of his face, which you didn't show here. I mean, I know that you think this is doing something right over here, but it's way over to the side, and the man had thick braided hair and a receding hairline with one braid laying over the right side of his face and cheek, level for, and 4 light green beads on the end of the braid. So I guess right over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So over to the side, he had a bead there. Probably somebody just cut off after that. He was using it as a something that people would describe if he was seen, but he didn't normally wear it. Yeah, I don't know what it is now. I mean, we have it's right here. We don't need to know. You know, it's just this is where it is right here. So I don't know if it's anything. This was 2023 though, this image, so maybe they've put in the last 2 years put a TJ Maxx in there. I don't know. But hey guys, if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, we got the Buy Me a Coffees. We've got one coffee and we're currently at $9.50 on the show. Yes, there. If you guys have any ability at all to help support the channel, that'd be great. Yeah, I think so. That's where it is right now. That's where it was before. There isn't one now, and that's not a TJ Maxx. You know, it's possible that's what it is now. I mean, maybe if we get onto Street View or something, and you know, I don't know. There's no roads over here. I can't really. I guess if I go to let's say I go to right there, maybe there's a more recent. It's 2021, 2023. Yeah. New video. Police say they don't know whether the occupants of the vehicles highlighted in the video at the right are witnesses or involved in the crime. Yeah, I see a break in the case. I wonder what that means. 2 cars captured on the videos. They parked outside the Tinley Park Lane Bryant store where 5 women were murdered last month could provide a crucial clue. Both dark-colored cars still were parked in front of the store while all 5 women were killed, but then it left before police arrived. So, you know, definitely could be them based on the timing. A NASA scientist working with Fox TV's America's Most Wanted used CSI-style technology to enhance the footage, which comes from a camera outside a Super Target store about 100 yards from the murder scene. A police source told the South Town Star that officers were working to identify the make and model of the vehicles. But the unusual spot where the cars were parked to the left of the front of the store near a vacant storefront means the motorists either likely were involved in the killings or are witnesses. Let me see. Do they have a better shot of that out there? Lane Bryant shooting surveillance image. Okay. So they're parked kind of like, I mean, that's a lot. Look at all that snow that's piled up over there. And here's some more pictures right here. Right there. I'm just kind of looking at the, yeah, so it's right here. Yeah, those cars are, they're kind of parked like right here-ish. You know, backed in right here. Unless they're right in front of the building. I don't think so, though. Here, look. See, like, there's that one on the left, two shorter ones, and then, I mean, actually, and then there's three of the shorter ones, and then the tall thing, see? And then, look, there's the white building. So it's all right there. You can see it. See? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a white, this thing right here. And so those are the cars they're talking about. And so that means they're kind of like right where I have it. Right there. Lieberman, who said enhanced 911 tape also would air on Saturday's show. Okay, I've got the 911 call, so. But police say that in America's Most Wanted interpretation, not theirs. Other new information in the show includes the surviving witness's description of the killer's fingernails, which appear to have been professionally manicured. O'Connell said. The 6 surviving victims told police the killer... Let's go up here. I'm going to read this one. Hey, thanks, Monica. Hathaway got involved with law enforcement after the Olympic Park bombings. The tape is 2 hours long, and I've got only through the part around the time of the killings, he said. Hopefully, if I go back a bit further, I'll find where the killer arrives. We can't identify a person by the video, but we could identify a car. Hathaway said a snowbank in front of the store obscures some parking spots, and the target camera pans back and forth across the lot, meaning Lane Bryant is not always visible. But by combining images using a technique called video image stabilization, I do that just by hand, and registration, he was able to spot images not visible on the original tape. The 6 surviving victim told police the killer arrived between 10:10 and 10:15 a.m., Hathaway said, but the cars arrived at 10:39 and 10:40. Oh, so that's probably not. Leaving at 10:44 and 10:45. That's probably not them. Well, maybe, let's see. At first we thought we had something great, but it would be very strange for there to be 2 getaway cars, he said. Right. Police also hope an enhanced version of... How do you miss a guy that big, too, you know? Police also hope an enhanced version of Rhoda McFarland's desperate 911 call, February 2nd, will help someone identify the killer. FBI staff at the agency national headquarters in Quantico, Virginia, have removed noise from the tape, so the killer now clearly can be heard saying, "I'm losing it." Lieberman, who said the enhanced 911 tape also would air on Saturday's show, police say that is America's Most Wanted interpretation, not theirs. Other new information in the show include the surviving witness description of the killer's fingernails, which appear to have been professionally manicured. The $80,000 reward offered in the case by Lane Bryant now will be paid as soon as the suspect is charged, Tinley Park police said Thursday. So, wow, so if he just charged somebody, it's... No, it's nothing to do with that, Cindy. Let's see, 5,600 tips, no suspect. All right, so then this is a year anniversary here. February 2nd, 2008, 10 a.m., Lane Bryant store opens with Rhoda McFarlane working as manager and the eventual surviving eventual survivor assisting her. Okay. And then at 10:15 a.m., the gunman knocks on the back door, posing as a delivery, pulls a gun, announces a robbery, and forces the women to the rear of the store. So that must mean he came around right back here. Let's see if they drove back here. Look at that. Google Earth. They did 2 lanes. So probably like on door number 732 or this one back here. And they let him in. 10:15 a.m. the gunman knocks on the back door, posing as a delivery man, pulls a gun, announces a robbery, and forces the women to the rear of the store. At 10:44 a.m. McFarlane dials 911, so he was there for 30 minutes, quietly alerting authorities to her location. At 10:45 a.m. the gunman opens fire, killing 5 women and wounding the 6th. He quickly flees the store. At 10:46 the first Tinley Park officers arrive on the scene. Man, that sucks. I mean, I wonder if he started shooting, though, because of the 911 call. And then at 11 a.m., the South Suburban Major Crimes Task Force is activated, and investigators arrive on the scene. Armed officers start searching individual stores. A school bus is stopped on the Harlem Interstate 80 eastbound ramp. Shoppers are given the okay to leave. Officers check all cars exiting the center, and Chicago police helicopters search areas surrounding the shopping center. At 2 p.m., police confirm 5 women were shot and killed in the store and release a description of the gunman. 5'6", 230 to 260 pounds. The aftermath. February 3rd, sources reveal a 6th woman, the lone survivor of the attack, is helping police with information about the shooting. The woman is an employee of the store, and though the gunman shot at her, she suffered only bullet graze to the neck. Authorities make their first appeal to the public, asking area hairstylists to contact them if they recall a customer fitting the description of the killer. A week from the day of the shooting, police released a composite sketch of the gunman. The sketch is not extremely detailed, sources said. The survivor still was traumatized and could not help provide a more detailed image. Police released a 36-second version of the 911 call, isolating the killer's voice, hoping someone in public recognizes it. Police reveal on the May 15th, police reveal for the first time they've recovered hair and fingerprints from the crime scene, though the evidence so far has not led them to a suspect. June 9th, police released more detailed sketch of the killer based on further interviews with the recovering 6th victim. July, investigators with the South Suburban Major Crimes Task Force pursued a lead in the case to Texas, where they went to interview members of the Rhoda McFarlane former church. Thank you, Richard Watts. The church began in Joliet in the late 1990s, then divided into a Crest Hill and Texas branch. Who cares? I mean, let's see. Investigators with Texas, where they went and interviewed members of the Rhoda McFarland's former church. The church began in Joliet. I mean, who cares about that? My God, you guys. The FBI returns to the Lane Bryant store to search for new clues on the 25th of September. Lane Bryant, corporate parent company, takes down the store's sign. There you go. See, that's when it was removed. At Brookside Marketplace, the shop remains a crime scene, and the company says it does not know whether it will reopen the Tinley Park store. They didn't. Back then they said, we don't have a suspect, O'Connell acknowledged last week. There are hundreds of names we are still checking out. A year later, the picture that emerged in the hours and days after the killing of a lone, round-faced black gunman with braids who grabbed women one by one as they arrived at the store, tied them up in a room at the rear of the store, then became enraged and started shooting when he feared his small-time robbery plot was unraveling. Still is at the center of the investigation. We have no reason to disbelieve it. Based in large part in the account of the sixth surviving woman, a Lane Bryant worker from Mokina, who miraculously escaped with only a minor neck injury, while the 5 other women were shot in the head. The story raised many questions. Why would an armed robber pick a woman's clothing store early on a frosty Saturday morning when more lucrative targets were available? Now, what's happening? Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm going to check in again. If you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel relies on your generosity for its survival. I mean, literally. And we're currently just... I mean, it's not... I don't know what the deal is, you guys, but it's we're at a really low point right now. So if you have the ability to help support this channel to keep it going, I would appreciate it. Might have to make some different decisions coming up here, sadly. Let's see. A year later, the picture that emerged in the hours and days after the killing of a long range... Okay, we have no reason to disbelieve it. Right, so then it says, why would an armed robber pick a woman's clothing store early on a frosty Saturday morning when more lucrative targets were available? How, when store manager Rhoda McFarland was shot in the front of the head after she bravely dialed 911 and shopper Sarah Faransky, Carrie Hudek, Kuzo, and then Jennifer Bishop and Connie Woolfolk all were shot at close range in the back of the head moments later. Did the surviving victim cheat death? These questions and others, combined with a determination to leave no lead unchecked, prompted police to chase dozens of alternates. Yeah, I mean, that is sort of interesting, right? I mean, what if that girl, you know, I guess what they're implying is, yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to get people to help support this channel, and I don't know why it's not happening, you guys. I you know, people keep saying, oh, it's the economy. I don't, you know, I don't buy it, you know. So I know the economy sucks, but there's no way it could just be that dramatic that fast. But I actually think that, you know, like, she's surviving. Okay, Cindy, Jesus, you're always right on top of everything, Cindy. You're just the super uber. Anyway, so what they're probably thinking is that the woman that survived, she could just be inventing because nobody saw this person except her. So they've been going after all these sketches and everything. They've been going after a particular person. However, what if the person doesn't even exist that looks like that? Did anybody else? Is there any corroborating? How do you miss a guy that's 260 pounds walking around? You know what I'm saying? How do you miss that person? So it's kind of like you think, I mean, she was shot. She had a grazing bullet. I mean, that'd be kind of a stupid thing, like, hey, you bring somebody in and they just barely miss you, but still shoot at you, and then you just look like you were there and hanging out. Why would you do that? So that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but, I mean, obviously they've thought of that, for sure. These questions and others, combined with a determination to leave no lead unchecked, prompted police to chase dozens of alternate theories. Notably, they included an ugly falling out McFarland had with her former church, Embassy Christian Center in Crest Hill, which in 2005 moved to Austin, Texas under a cloud of acrimony. A 20-minute phone call reportedly placed by a former embassy member that was routed through the cell phone tower nearest the Lane Bryant store just an hour before the murders also prompted hope of a breakthrough. Investigators also chased down possible links to shootings in Dalton, Chicago, and North Carolina without success. How would you know, Cindy? I mean, they might think that she was in on it, but she was shot in the neck, you know. Investigators also chased down possible links to shootings in Dalton, Chicago, and North Carolina without success, although O'Connell said officers have not ruled out a Texas connection. Hair and fingerprints recovered from the store also have yet to yield a viable suspect, although a forensic technician permanently assigned to the case at the Illinois State Police Crime Lab in Joliet continues to examine a mountain of evidence removed from the shop during several painstaking sweeps of the shuttered store, the most recent of which was led by the FBI in September. Although the team of 50 investigators who hunted the killer in the first weeks after the shootings is now down to a minimum of 12. Although the team, I guess, down to 12. They had 50, now 12. Tips are still coming in, and there is something for them to do every day. All right, here's the 911 call.
McDonough County 911, what's your emergency?
I've got a gentleman in Farmington with a gun. I need someone here right now. I'm the store manager. Now.
Okay, where is he in the store, sir?
In the sporting goods. Now. He's loading a gun now.
Okay, has he made threats of some
No,
sort?
he's got a gun. He's loading it now.
Okay, hang on. Do not hang up the phone with me, okay?
Yes.
Has he made threats? Has he...
Well, who's this person? Sounds like a guy.
McDonough County 911, what's your emergency?
I've got a gentleman in Farmington with a gun. I need someone here right now. I'm the store manager. Now.
Okay, where is he in the store, sir?
In the sporting goods. Now. He's loading a gun now.
Okay, has he made threats of some
No,
sort?
he's got...
I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard is that they've done a 3D image of the suspect. Kelly. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. Sketches are just sketches. So you don't know what he looks like, really. And you're going to make a 3D image so it looks just like a person, but come on.
A gun. He's loading it now.
Okay, hang on. Do not hang up the phone with me, okay?
Yes.
Has he made threats? Has he...
No.
Okay. Did he say why he has...
No.
Nothing at all? You just...
Is this not the right one? Hold on, let me... Thought that was... Sounds right, I mean... Let me just make sure.
See him loading the gun?
Yes.
I thought it was a female that called this. I wonder if that just gave me a different one. Hold on, let me check something. Lane Bryant 911 audio. I think it's different than that.
Developing at 11, police Bryant store at CBS Parks police everywhere into Bryant 10 dead. Years ago.
Yeah, it's a lot more creepy, like it's quiet. That doesn't sound right. Maybe that's somebody else that called or something.
Nothing at all, you just see him loading right now. Okay, sir. Okay, you go ahead and get that. Fired, shots fired. County unit, shots fired, shots fired.
Hold on, what's this one? This one says 14 years ago. Illinois farm. Oh, that's different. Okay, no wonder. That's so bizarre. I typed in Lane Bryant and that one popped up, but
It's a final plea from Bourbon Street, a part of a chill moments stores map all 9 or the gun.
911 emergency. Lane Bryant. We're at. Stay on the line, stay on the line.
she whispered Lane Bryant, Tinley Park.
Let me get you to Tinley Park, don't hang up.
Then the phone went dead.
What an idiot 911 person. It's Lane Bryant, Tinley Park, and she transfers the person over to, hey, don't hang up. Let me transfer you over to the police over there. Come on. My God, you hear her whispering, right?
Dead. The gunman bound and killed 5 women in a botched robbery at the store. A 6th woman was injured in the shooting, but police have yet to identify.
I know it's not the right call. I figured, I knew it didn't sound right when I heard it. I downloaded it because it said it was, but I already heard it before, and I knew that didn't sound right. Were you paying attention, Casablanca? I actually just showed you, I was showing you that I didn't think it was the right one. My God.
Her. The gunman remains at robbery at the store. A said the gun. Then the
line, let me get you. Lane Bryant. We're at.
Like she whispers Lane Bryant.
Stay on the line, let me get you to Tinley Park, don't hang up.
Why not ask her a couple questions or something? I'm about to start blocking people if they keep typing in it's the wrong 911 call. I know. I typed in Lane Bryant, I downloaded it, didn't listen to that one. I had already heard it before. I thought, oh, cool, a longer version. And it said 14 years ago, but it's actually longer than that. Yeah, these people. All right. Anyways, you can hear her saying Lane Bryant, Tinley Park. And then you hear her voice in the background, and they just basically, hey, we'll transfer you over there. This one's 10 years, so maybe there'll be something else in this. Let's see. 10 years later, Lane Bryant killing unsolved. I guess there's a page 1 here. Hold on. You can see on a wall inside the Tinley Park police station are pictures of 5 women, and Detective Ray Violetto has spent nearly the last decade trying to give them a voice. Since shortly after the February 2nd, 2008 slayings of the women in a Lane Bryant store in the Village, he has been involved with the department's investigation of the case. During that time, police have sifted through solid leads and sometimes less than useful tips, combined about 7,300 so far in the hopes of finding their killer. We're missing one piece to put the whole total together, Violetto, in the 19th year as a detective with the department, said this week. Killed that day were store manager Rhoda McFarland, 42, Joliet, and then Jennifer Bishop, 34, of South Bend, Indiana, Sarah Sfaransky, 22, of Oak Forest, and Connie Woolfolk, 37, of Flossmoor, and Carrie Hudek Giuso, 33, of Frankfurt. A sixth woman, also a store employee, suffered gunshot wound to the neck but survived and was able to provide police with a description of the killer. Tinley Park police on Thursday released a new three-dimensional image of the killer created by Michigan State Police and based on the surviving woman's description. It's just, yeah, that's just ridiculous. The killings, and probably added some publicity to it. The killings and where they took place, a women's clothing store and a busy shopping center, Brookside Marketplace, affected the community, Police Chief Steve Neubauer said. I haven't seen Claudia Neubauer in a long time. The passage of 10 years may have, for somewhat dimmed the images from that day, he said, but that time doesn't heal it for the families. Neubauer said it's very frustrating that the families of the victims are still awaiting justice, but we're still committed to the case and still committed to solving it. Violetto said that for the last 3 years, the department has averaged a bit more than a tip a week in the case, and that each lead and tip gets evaluated. Some that on the surface appear very promising don't produce the hoped-for result, he said. He said he has been the department lead investigator on the case since roughly August 2008. The department has a tip line for the investigation. In the years since the shooting, Tinley Park police have received help in the case from law enforcement agencies, including the Illinois State Police. Still standing and unclaimed is a $100,000 reward. I think it's like $106,000 now. Much of it put by the parent company of Lane Bryant that was hoped to pry loose key information that would lead to an arrest. That missing piece police need will come from someone who is inside knowledge of the crime or offender. There are individuals out there who know committed this crime, he said. Shortly after 10 a.m. on the day of the shootings, which was a Saturday, an African-American man, about 6 feet 6, now it's 6 feet 6, 6 feet to 6'2"? I thought it was 5'6". But now he's a really tall, big person. 6 feet to 6'2", with a husky build and broad shoulders, came into the store posing as a delivery man. Police, based on the description by the surviving woman, said he had 3 to 5 puffy cornrows running from the back of his head to the front, with one strand with green beads hanging over the right cheek. He wore a black jacket and a charcoal gray knit cap, police said. 4 women, including McFarland, and the other employee, were in the store at the time. The man pulled out a gun, a .40 caliber Glock pistol, told them he was robbing the store, then herded the women into a back room where they were bound with duct tape and ordered to lie face down on the floor. 2 other women who came into the store also were similarly restrained. That's why it's like Thomas Bruce a little bit. McFarland managed to call 911 on her cell phone, whispering her location to an operator who told her to stay on the line. McFarland pleaded hurry before the connection was lost. An edited version of the 911 call is at the police department website or can be heard by calling, an edited version of the 911 call is at the police department website or can be heard by calling. Why would you call that number? That's weird. You call a phone number and you can just listen to it? While the assailant's voice is difficult to hear on the call, it sounds as though at one point he says, "I'm losing it." The call was first received by the Will County Sheriff's Department and immediately transferred to the Tinley Park which took the call at 10:44 a.m. according to authorities. A Tinley Park police officer was on a call in Brookside Marketplace. All right. Let's see if you guys can send me some coffees. All right. I don't know if it's working or not. Yeah, there you go. So we've got the buy me a coffees. All right. Keep me awake over here. 4 women, including McFarland and the other employee, were in the store at the time. The man pulled out a Glock pistol, told them he was robbing the store, then herded the women into a back room where they were bound with duct tape and ordered to lie face down on the floor. 2 other women who came into the store were similarly saying, okay, so we got the 911 call. While the assailant's voice is difficult to hear on the call, it sounds as though at one point he says, "I'm losing it." The call was first received by the Will County Sheriff's Department and immediately transferred to the Tinley Park, which took the call at 10:44 a.m. A Tinley Park police officer was on a call in Brookside Marketplace in a recent in a parking lot of a super target a few hundred yards away, and was on the scene within a minute. But the gunman has already fled. He probably went out the back door. You know what I bet the killer did? I bet the killer drove around, parked their car back here, killed, left, and then drove all the way down and kind of came out over here nonchalantly, and nobody was aware of anything. That kind of makes more sense. Police said they know by the survivor's account that the man was in the store for 40 minutes. Police have suspected the women's death were the result of a botched robbery, and Violetta said money was taken from the store. He declined to say whether any of the women's personal belongings were taken. Police previously said their investigation didn't uncover any evidence to suggest that any of the women knew the assailant. So I guess that's gone. Bishop, a nurse, and her husband were in the area for a conference. Hudick, a counselor at Homewood Flossmoor High School, was shopping for clothes for a get-together with college friends. Svaransky had stopped at the store possibly to look for clothes for her job in the accounting department at C&A Financial. Woolfolk, a single mother of 2 boys, was getting ready to enjoy a night out with friends who were gathering later that day for a birthday party at Ed and Joe's Pizza in Tinley Park. She was a longtime employee for the village of Park Forest and had worked at a mortgage lender. While the passage of so many years adds to the difficulty in solving the case, such as Lane Bryant, that doesn't necessarily mean it will stay cold forever. Let's see. In an investigation, police get tips that are sometimes credible, sometimes not, but which compel investigators to probe a million rabbit holes. As Tinley Park police hope will happen, Reed said that someone has information that will provide that missing piece. And if the reward money isn't enough for inducement, perhaps a guilty conscience is. Secrets are a heavy load, he said. People are compelled to do what's right. Lane Bryant did not reopen, and in the fall of 2013, TJ Maxx closed an existing store in Tinley Park and opened a location in the space vacated by Lane Bryant. I bet you they got a good deal on that. All right, you guys, I'll give it one last shot here. If you guys are out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, my channel relies on you guys. Other than you guys, there's no income that comes in on these live streams. And so, think of me like you're going to Starbucks and you bought a coffee and you're just tipping the store. Because that's basically how we've done this show for years. For some reason recently, we don't have that same, I don't know, It's been difficult. So this is the last one I have here. This is from October of this last year, just 3 months ago.
911 emergency.
Oh, here's the call right here.
Lane Bryant.
I'm losing it. I think you said bullshit. After that. Bullshit. Why does it keep cutting out like that?
911 emergency. Lane Bryant.
Hey, thanks, Juliet. I live down the street off I-80 and remember this vividly. Here's 20 towards milk and a dozen eggs. Yeah. Thanks for bringing the attention to this case that it's close to home.
But what this weather did not provide.
Yeah. Let me get back, open that up again. Yeah, this guy's a psychopath regardless. I mean, I don't care. You know, this isn't a robbery gone wrong. You know, this isn't somebody trying to preserve themselves. This is just somebody who, you know, just nuts. You know, went in there and killed. Really, why wouldn't the coffee work? Hey, thanks. Somebody just sent it to me. I'm hiccuping. Ugh. Thanks, uniquely, Susie, retired hospice RN. Oh, got it. Got hiccups. Hold on. Maybe that'll work. Right. On February 2008, a man posing as a delivery driver walked into a Lane Bryant clothing store in Tinley Park, a suburb of Chicago, with .40 caliber semi-automatic handgun. He forced 6 women he found inside into a back room, duct taped their hands behind their backs, and fondled one of them. See, there's something else here. Eventually, he shot them all. While the attacker may have believed he killed all of them, one survived, according to investigators. She was a part-time employee whose description of the suspect police hoped would lead to an arrest. Despite thousands of leads over the past 16 years, the killer remains at large. The killer is believed to be just over 6 feet tall. Remember, it was 5'6", 5'9", and 260, with a husky build and broad shoulders. He was described as a black man between 25 and 35 years old at the time of the attack, with a medium dark skin tone and cornrowed hair. He had one braid hanging down his right cheek, adorned with green beads. He was wearing black jeans and a rhinestone G embroidered over the back pockets, a dark gray cap, and a dark jacket. Hey, thanks, Lizzie Rob. Appreciate it. I wish I could be more sensationalistic for you guys. Grainy surveillance video taken from across the street shows a dark SUV and a dark sedan in the parking lot around the time of the murders. The Associated Press reported at the time. However, it was unclear whether either the vehicle were used by the attacker. Authorities have also have the killer's voice recorded in a garbled 911 call, and the Tinley Park Police Department is offering a $100,000 reward. So is this? Okay, that's not there. I guess we can listen to it again.
911 emergency. Lane Bryant. No!
So where's the park? Because she says Tinley Park too. So what's going on with this cut out version? Stupid. They got a better copy than that. That's garbage. You're lucky. The gunman can be heard saying, "I'm losing it." Huh? I don't hear any of that in there. The woman's voice begging police to hurry belonged to the store manager, Rhoda McFarland, 42. The lone survivor identity has not been publicized. Police identified the murder victims as McFarland of Joliet, Jennifer Bishop, 34. Yeah, we've gone through all this. There's something that's in that timeline that's off, and you, as the investigator, have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. It's like a ladder without rungs. We have to fill in those spots. Let's see. Police released a statement on her behalf days after the shooting. As unspeakable tragedy occurred and 5 of the bravest women I've ever met were senselessly murdered and taken from their families, she said, my deepest sympathies and condolences go out to their families and friends. Please know that during the unfathomable events of that day, their thoughts were focused on you and coming home. My heart aches that they were unable to do so, and I am working with authorities in any way possible for all the victims. Tinley Park Police did not respond to an interview request from Fox News Digital. The cold case can be cracked with the help of new technology and tips from the public, according to John Kelly, a criminal profiler who's been working on the case through his organization. I believe he lives outside the area in a bigger city, Kelly told Fox News Digital. He has some experience about delivering to businesses, thus entering the back door and showing the manager the paperwork, a ruse for delivery to get himself inside. I think he just knocked on the door, somebody opened it and pushed it open. I don't think it's, like, hey, let me in, let's start walking in. I believe he was impulsive and desperate for money. I don't. I think he was looking for something else. Despite the planning, he wasn't an experienced stick-up artist, the profiler said. He was a novice at robbing stores. A major lack of sophistication shows, he told Fox News Digital, why try to rob a store in broad daylight at approximately 10:30 in the morning with no mask? Yeah, I think you know what I think it is? I think he was going to go kill everybody that was in there from the get-go. That's why he had duct tape. He was going to duct tape them. Maybe he was going to assault some of them and then kill them. That early cash from the prior day of sales was already deposited, and few new shoppers would have come in to spend. The only cash is to make change and maybe, what does that mean? The only cash is to make change and maybe pay out refunds for returns. Why rob a place? Well, because maybe he doesn't know that. And I think the money was just an afterthought. That's what I think. I think the money was just like, you're robbing it later, you're not really sure what the hell. I mean, I guess the key is knowing exactly what the. If you could interview the surviving witness, they'd probably have a better idea. The sixth victim who survived gave police a suspect description. That's how has now been developed into a 3D composite. To me, that's just ludicrous. Yeah, let's see. He's walking without a mask, so he plans on killing going in, right? That's what I think. Witnesses disposal. He thought he killed everyone who he believed could identify him. Local police announced last year that they put 2 new detectives on the case. Anything and everything is on the table at this point. They got to get back into their lives. Just because, I mean, God, wouldn't you think there'd be some DNA or something left at the scene, wouldn't you? Hey, and thanks Paulette Leonard for the coffee over there. So is the super chat not working for people? Is that what the problem is? I keep seeing people type it in. Or is it just not wanting to support the channel? I don't know. Nobody's typing. Nobody's, it's just really... So anyways, I thought you guys might be interested in that. Thought about it a while back when Mike sent it over. And then he reminded me of it. And I was like, oh, today is the anniversary, he said. So, yeah, well, maybe they do have his DNA. They said they found, like, some DNA there. They just don't know who it belonged to. You'd think they'd be able to find something. Oh, I guess it works, Kathy Fredmaker. I thought it had to have been something wrong with it. Or maybe it's just some of the new people watching aren't really, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Yeah, super stickers work for people if you just do that. Do a super sticker, and then if you have a comment associated with it, you can put it in the chat and put it up on the screen. There we got Kathy Fredmaker. We got Dizzy Rob. Thanks, Gray. And then this one said coffee didn't work. Uniquely Susie. How could that not work? It's just, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he came in from back here, had his car back here, got into his car, and went out somewhere over here. Although that's not really a quick getaway. I just don't know if he would... I mean, he could go really quick and get out this way, but if he drove over there, he could just be really nonchalant and nobody would know who the hell... I mean, hell, he could even have driven all the way around like that. That's crazy, right? Like, look at this. He could have driven all the way around like this. And then came out and just got the hell out of there. Nobody would have seen him. Jeez. That's kind of creepy. Isn't that bizarre? I mean, that seems like exactly what he would do. Here, let's see what that would look like. Gets in that car. Let's see if this has this. It was one of the only stores that was built at the time. It was a Target, had the camera, and it was way across the mall. Well, try a super sticker, Sandy. I don't know why everybody's having problems with the super chats. I don't know. No idea. Super sticker, though, works. I've had that before, though, on some channels. Don't know what it means. I can't fix it. So look, he could have just driven just like this. Okay, does it not keep going around on that? Let's see. Yeah, no, it still goes over there. And then you just come right around here for a minute. And then, does it go that way? Yeah, look at that. And you just keep going. And you're back here and there's nothing. That whole time there's probably like, I mean, there might be cameras on the back of some of these buildings. I don't know. But in terms of being spotted, nobody's going to see you doing this. All the way from the store. I don't know, Cindy. They're all different now. Although the one on the right of it might be the same. If you look at it, you're sort of completely hidden from any observers at this time. I wonder why they put this little, I guess it's just a drainage. I mean, are people really enjoying this? I guess it's on the edge. Yeah, but see how this is the whole time. Look at this. It's just completely hidden. And then you're out of here. Boom. Isn't that amazing? I think that's I bet you if he didn't walk away, that's how he did this. He parked right back here, and when he was done, he exited the back again, got in his car, and he drove all the way around just like this, just what we just did. Came around completely out of, behind everything. Nobody could see him. And then he goes out right here, and then makes his way right to the highway, and he's out of here. See that? Just gone. That's such a perfect way to do that. And maybe there's cameras on some of those buildings back there, but I mean, the only one that they seem to have any footage on was the, well, that wasn't the start of it. It was right here, actually. A minute ago when I started back over there, it's right here, all the way around like this. I think I did do that, yeah. And then you're out. And then here's the target. That's the one that had the surveillance shots all the way across. But maybe they didn't see any, and they don't even believe those are related now. So the car is never seen, and maybe the reason it's never seen is because it does exactly what I just showed you. Now maybe there's a camera here that might have filmed something. I don't know. All right, guys, we're currently at 1/10 of a nightly goal, which seems to be sort of a theme lately. If there's any chance you guys can help support the channel, I would appreciate it. All right, they said that they were looking at the hairstylist. And maybe the beads were done intentionally to trick people, Yep, Sandy did a coffee instead of a super thing, or whatever that's called. Thanks, Sandy. I mean, what if you just put the beads on as some sort of a, look over here, and then he just takes it off later, and that's not part of the description anymore. Like, it would be kind of odd to have something unique like that and then keep it. A smarter way to do it would be to put it on uniquely for the moment, then remove it, and then only the people at the scene are the ones that saw it. If you were somebody that was wearing the green beads around for a while and then gave, you know, and you were wearing around for a while and then took it off, it would alert somebody. Wow, why do you take those beads off? Maybe he's the guy that they're talking about. See, that to me, it's like he, you know, I mean, either he's just really stupid, you know, and had the beads on and he kept wearing the beads later, or he just put them on for that. You know, it seems, it seems kind of unlikely somebody would think about, ooh, let me put these beads on as a disguise, and people will point that out, but I won't actually, you know, I'm not somebody that wears those all the time. Yeah, so you must go to a salon somewhere. Get the beads put in. Also remember they talked about how his nails were good? Mm-hmm. 6'1" and big, Cindy? Doubt it. Sounds like a guy in the background. All right. Well. Yeah, I guess they found the black box in the Pennsylvania aircraft crash. You can take a look at that. Actually, I don't know. I think what I was gonna just show you is what I'm gonna put in a video, and I'd rather just make a video out of it. So, other than that, I don't have much else to do. I was gonna go over it, but I was thinking, well, because the video I'm gonna make, it's gonna allow people to. A couple of the spots they can tell me where they think the shots are from. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Thanks to the people who did support. We had Kathy B, Tina G, Uniquely, Susie, Retired Hospice RN, Zozo, Michelle H, Monica Reeves, Richard Watts, Uniquely, Susie, Retired Hospice RN, Lizzie Robb, Kathy Fredmaker, and then we have Ted Bundy, Juliet, Paulette, and Sandy on the Buy Me a Coffee. All right, you guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys later. And as I always say, wait a minute. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I mean, I appreciate everybody coming here and, you know, maybe try to help support the channel when you can. But I got to find something else to do all this. And I think I'm just going to focus on making videos only. And it was nice, you know, it was cool having everybody here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that's going to have to be my focus is videos. I mean, I can do shows and stuff like that, but I can't make it on what this is doing right now. Right? I mean, this is like, we've had just horrendous nights. And if I string a month of that together, it's like just doesn't work. I know you guys don't really give a shit, but I'm just telling you what the reality is. You know, it's like, hey, you know, there's a lot of channels you can go watch, do whatever you got to do. I'm just trying my best to do the shows, and it just seems like doesn't matter what I say, it just kind of keeps on going. So. I don't know. I think when I'm doing these shows and what I do is better than everybody else. Honest to God, like I actually figure out what the hell's going on. But unfortunately, you guys like to, you know, the people who support the sensationalistic jackasses, not people like me who put it out there. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's just one of those things where I don't believe that it's purely the economy, you know. I think it's just people, you know. It's like, yeah, no, I like the sensationalism, you know. I think that's what it comes down to, because people find, you know, like I'm just saying it's just that isn't what it is. So I want to know what Right. I know there's people that just support me and help support the channel. I'm just not really sure, you guys. It's just, you know, we got the $30, and $30 was, we used to do $250, $300 every single night, and that's why we were able to donate $4,000 at the end of the month, and the channel could survive and do stuff. And $30 is just, you know, that's like working at McDonald's or something, you know. I mean, 3 hours of, I don't know what you guys want me to do. Right, I come on every single night, but I'm not, I don't know, not sure. Just got a message from somewhere, I don't know where it went. Funny. Just watching and sharing, support the channel, Gray. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to, if people can afford it, they can afford it. It just feels odd, you know. I don't feel like that's really what's going on. And I feel like there's the troll channels and all of the just crap out there that's sort of against me all the time has made people just go, forget it. That's what I feel like. And I think if I do live streams, it's only going to be on the most popular stuff that's going on. I'll just have my own take on it. I can't do anything like tonight again. I know some of you like the cold cases. I can't do it. You know, if it's a cold case that we've worked on and something I can do updates or whatever, but I just, you know, I think it's like the people have spoken, you know, we just want the popular stuff. Like I was doing pretty good those 3 days that we covered the plane crashes, you know. Did okay, not great, but just okay. As soon as I touched something else tonight, and even last night, our donation night was 1/3 of what it normally is. Anybody have an explanation for that one? Even the month before, just the 1 month before, was normal. It's like talking to a brick wall. All right, everybody. Thanks. See you later. Have a good one.